everyone, and welcome back to Tech It or Leave It, the best Web3 podcast on the planet.
On the planet.
Yep. Today, we have really outdone ourselves with a guest. Please welcome Dave Catudal.
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 Yes, yes, I nailed it.
You never get it right the first time. Yeah.
I messed up the first time on my podcast. The only reason why I got it.
It is a pleasure and honor. Please welcome Dave.
Thank you guys so much. Nice to see you again.
Nice
Yeah.
to see you
And
again,
Yusuf,
Dave.
always a pleasure.
Yes. So actually, we've known each other for a while now. We've been working on Lyvely, which is your new venture, right? And you're kind of a serial entrepreneur. But before we get into that, I wanted to say thanks for coming on. I know you have lots of podcasts and lots of things going on a daily basis with Lyvely, and I know how precious your time is. So I really do appreciate you coming here.
Pleasure's all mine.
So I want to open up with a question about Lyvely. I know we're kind of in the weeds, right? Just because we work on the company pretty much, well, for me as well, pretty much on a daily basis. So in your own words, to this new audience,
Yeah.
how would you describe Lyvely?
Great question. And the best way to describe Lyvely is we are a platform with a vision to help creators, freelancers, and anyone trying to build a digital presence, help those people build a profitable digital presence, right? So when you think of traditional social media, you think about posting and putting it out there for the views, for the likes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a huge gap in the market for the amount of talent and the amount of incredible content and incredible education and incredible just all of that digital entertainment or education that is there available to us all for free. There's a huge problem with the creators of this content not being able to monetize, right? And if you can't, like a business, if you can't generate revenue, you can't keep going, right? You either burn out emotionally or you just can't sustain it.
Yeah.
So Lyvely is a platform that exists to help people sustain it, like the name Lyvely, livelihood, right?
Yeah.
So we want to help people build a revenue stream and an entire career based on things that they love to do and sharing that with the world. And that's what Lyvely exists to do. So we are a digital platform that is social, but is really designed to help you think more entrepreneurial, so that with every post you create, with every time you direct someone's attention, your fans or your followers or your clients, to your Lyvely profile, the intention there isn't just to give me a like or hit subscribe, it's to actually convert them into a paying customer.
So have you seen, like, with Lyvely, because I know there was like a handful of people that had access to actually using Lyvely, right?
Yeah.
Before its official launch, but I think is later
Right.
this year. So have you seen a lot of the people that have been using Lyvely to be like micro influencers, if we would call them in Web 2 world, that kind of it's like their side passion more than like their main job? Because, you know, like with me, I have like my TikTok account, for example, or Instagram. My
Right.
real job is I work in PR, or like let's say daytime job. You know what I mean? My
Right.
nighttime job, I'm like cooking videos on TikTok that get like a couple 100,000 views, but they're just me making fun of myself, and I don't know how to cook. But anyways, but you know, but I love it. Like I love entertainment.
Right.
So are
Right.
you kind of finding that same type of caliber of people?
Yeah, so good question. We have appealed to a diverse range, I guess you can say.
Okay.
But you specifically said micro influencers.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we define that? What would we say, like under 50,000 followers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is pretty much the earliest adopters of Lyvely.
Cool.
And I think one of the reasons why is not, and I'm just putting this out there, but
Yeah.
I think that not everybody aspires to be an influencer.
I agree
right?
with you, by
Like,
the way, 100%.
So you like to be a creator, right?
Correct.
You like to create. You like
Yeah.
to produce that content.
Yeah.
You like to put that out there, right? But not everybody wants to actually, climb that social ladder and
Totally.
become an influencer, right? And I also think influencers being redefined. You no longer have to have 1 million followers. You
True.
have to have an engaged community. And that's what Lyvely is all about. So I think that the ones who have really resonated with what Lyvely is here to do are the ones that have probably a little less of a following, but that following is extremely engaged. We can almost call it a community, right? And that has brought them to Lyvely because they say, oh, wow, I have this community. I have these people who are really invested in what I'm producing. But on Instagram or on TikTok, that's more just scroll, entertain,
You're right.
scroll.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think where we've really kind of, proven, I'm not going to say product market fit, but where we've really found our first 1,000 raving fans is in those who recognize that I have a community. I want to turn this community into a business.
And also authentic content resonates.
100%.
That's, I think, what we're seeing time and time again. And I think it's proof that a lot of these content creators, I'll just use TikTok as an example because I think in TikTok kind of put like the content creators more than like the influencers, kind of to your point, which I think what Lyvely is going to massively do well in that. It's more authentic content resonates. And I think people are weaving through the BS.
Yes,
More and
big
more.
time.
More and more.
Yeah, I mean, you said 1,000 raving fans.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I have a claim here. I think I am the first person on Lively to post a full-length podcast. So I'm gonna hold that because when
I'm a little jealous, but it's fine.
we're
David,
past
we're
1,000.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
we're-
how early are we talking?
I can't remember. I think it was like March. March is when I posted
that's
it.
extremely early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's OG days.
That's
Wow,
OG days.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, congrats on that,
Thank you.
and thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Lyvely like come to be? Like, I know the story from my own podcast, but I think a lot of the audiences would what would like to know like how like where did the idea spark from? Why are you both laughing? Am I
Did you want to
missing
ask
out?
that question, Yusuf?
No, it's fine.
Sorry,
Yeah.
so sorry. I am a
Yeah, it's
podcaster.
fine, yeah.
All right.
Check
Well,
myself.
I do love that question. How a business starts is always fascinating, right? As an entrepreneur myself, as someone who's always been a builder, like how an idea goes into that next phase of like, okay, putting together a team, and in my case, like the best thing that could ever happen to a business is a powerful co-founder dynamic. This is what I've seen time and time again will make a business get through those hard times.
Yeah.
That will, that when you add that synergy of two minds that are aligned on a mission, aligned on a vision, and you combine that force, you can be unstoppable. And that's how Lyvely started. Is I met my now co-founder, who was a friend. We've known each other for 7 years, so we had the rapport, we had the trust, we had we knew each other as individuals. And she was working in a corporate job in Saudi. She was actually the right hand to MBS, working at the Public Investment Fund. And I owned a supplement company in Thailand, and so I was lecturing in Thailand, teaching about like anti-aging protocols and gut health and detox, and I was doing what I guess you can call a speaking circuit. And she happened to be in the audience one day, and long story short, we connected on a health level, on a level that I was helping her with her with her well-being, and she was helping me with my business at the time, and that relationship and that dynamic matured into both of us recognizing that where the industry is going is like Farah says it best. My co-founder Farah Zafar, she says like she just knew like, okay, tech is the future, and she wanted to be self-employed. She had spent her whole career building billion-dollar businesses, right, and listing them and like doing things that a founder like me can only dream of, right? That's so next level. And I was a builder myself. So we combined forces, and with her vision of the future is tech, with our combined vision of, well, people need to monetize outside like the 9 to 5, right? We want to see people follow their passion. We want to see people get paid doing what they love. I mean, imagine a world where everybody woke up and just loved what they did. Like the vibe,
the
like
dream.
that vibe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like our thought process was like, how can we create that at scale, right? And literally that was the birth of Lyvely, and that was like 4 years ago. It went to ideation phase.
Yeah.
It went to mature. We very strongly believe in the build in public theory, where like you just launch way before you're ready. You get the community behind you. You get the feedback. You have your users build your platform based on the features they need, not based on our assumptions. And then you prove that, and then all of a sudden you're left with a strong community that has had a hand in developing your platform, and you know that the product you're building is in demand because they've asked for it. So that's where we are today.
Is that difficult sometimes? I want to stick on the Lively topic just for a second longer. Is it difficult sometimes to remove the ego of listening to others rather than maybe sometimes if that conflicts with your own ideas or people in the company's own ideas, is there some sort of ego thing there where it's like, I don't know if we should do that, but then you go like, well, we've received the feedback, we've seen the data. Does that happen?
Yeah, I mean the ego plays into everything, right?
Yeah.
Like there's usually a part of us that has something we're holding on to when it comes to defending an idea we have or an assumption we have. Like we want to be right. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But you don't get great from always being right. You get great from recognizing when you're wrong and improving on that,
And
right?
growing and learning from it.
Growth mindset,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So, but to your point is like, I'm very emotionally connected to Lyvely.
Yes.
you
I mean,
work
it's your
with me,
baby,
you know,
right?
like, yeah, I mean, it's our baby, and it means so much to us for not only for this to work, but for this vision to come out. And now that we've seen people really resonate and we see, okay, wow, Lively's like growing, and, you know, we haven't officially launched yet, and like, it's really picking up. Yes, there are still those things where we're like, we just want it this way, but you have to let that go if your community is just saying, well, that way is not working for me. You just have to let it go. You know, ultimately, even as owners of the business, as visionaries of the business who want to take this to a very clear idea in your head, you need the community feedback, and you need to be told when what you're doing isn't right, and you need to adapt. You have to.
That's super fascinating because other companies, and I'm just going to name drop here because everyone knows them, YouTube, Instagram, whatever social media platform is out there, they don't really do that. Like everyone wants the dislike button back, right? Everyone wants to go back to like timelines of like, you know, whatever was posted latest on Instagram first and stuff like that. And they just never budge. To make a big statement on Lyvely, no one's made $1 billion off YouTube just because, but YouTube's made tens of billions of dollars a year off YouTube. Do you think because the way that you're building Lyvely, extrapolate like years down the line, you might have the first creator to make $1 billion off their creation?
To be honest, I haven't even thought about the B word on Lyvely. We're so early, and we have, you know, such a road ahead of us. But I like where you're thinking. Now that seed has been planted. The first creator to make $1 billion. I mean, that's huge, right? That's massive. I hope that Lyvely and other platforms that help creators monetize. Look, the future, again, my opinion, is creator-led brands. Right. My supplement brands, when I did launch supplement brands, even back, you know, in 2013 when I launched my first supplement brand, like I was a coach with a digital presence. Like my digital presence led for me to get enough feedback from my followers or clients to say, hey, there's a service, or there's a product in this case, that I know they need. And I know I have customers waiting for me, so you make a product. This we're starting to see en masse. So I don't know how many creators are going to make $1 billion from selling their content on a platform. But I do think billionaire creators are going to be made from amassing this digital presence with the entrepreneurial mindset, saying, I'm not just posting this to get it out there for free. I'm posting this to build a business. And that's the mindset that we want to incubate with Lyvely. Now you really put the B word in my mind. I'm thinking, I like that. Thank you for that.
So as we can see, you're very passionate about what you do. Do you think you're like, really? Kind of.
Yeah. Passionate, obsessive, whatever.
Thin line. Do you see that, like, when you have like the hard days and the hardships and like maybe when you're getting bad feedback or negative feedback, because as you just said, we always want to be right. Has it ever made you feel like through the Lyvely process or honestly through any of your supplement journeys as well, been like, you know what, maybe I'm like folding up and I'm not going to do this anymore? Or has it actually enabled you to go harder and like kind of strive for success even more?
The first and then the second. So first despair and throw in the towel and like, this will never work. I'm insane. And then, and I think this is kind of what makes or breaks you as a founder, is because that will happen. Like
of course.
there are days that you just think, why can't we get this right? Or
Yeah.
why can't, like, I remember back in my first supplement brand, I'm like, why can't I sell more than I got stuck at 10,000 US dollars, right?
Okay,
Which
yeah.
is fine for a single solo founder who had just had a supplement brand, but like I couldn't get past that. And I was thinking, okay, my expenses are X, my revenue is Y. I'm like,
course, yeah.
what more? And you're working so hard. You're thinking,
Yeah.
what more can I do? But typically, and this is a problem that a lot of businesses have, it's you're just thinking the wrong way. You're not looking for the opportunities, you're looking at the problems.
Yeah.
So I think that, anyone who owns a business knows problems are going to happen. And they're probably going to happen every day. And
Yeah.
some of them are going to be really big. And some of them are going to be so big, they're going to make you think that you'll never make it.
Yeah.
But it's saying, okay, that sucks. I need to figure this out. And then what's the solution? Like that's like the number one question that should be in every founder's mind always. What's the solution? Because there's going to be so many problems. It's like, got it. Okay, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
What's the solution? Because there always is one.
Yeah.
It's just your ability to find that, and then your open-mindedness to pivot to that. Usually it's a little risky sometimes, but if you can't do that, then you're just going to usually slow death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to stick on the point about hardships, because and I don't know how much you want to go into this, but I've seen some stuff that you podcast and stuff that you've done online, and you've gone through a lot of personal challenges in your life, and I can't help because I've known you for some time, and you've actually inspired me personally to go to the gym as well. I passed out on my first day.
When he came the next day to work saying he passed out, I was like, well, like, did you eat? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay.
Rookie mistake. You
Yeah.
only make that mistake
Yeah.
once.
Yeah,
though.
there you go. Then you feel it, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that feels
Ah,
horrible. I'm never going to do that
yeah.
again. Yeah, food, exactly.
Food is good.
Yeah. Anyways, but no, you've genuinely inspired me. I've seen that there's a correlation that if I go through hell in the gym, right, I come the next day at work with much more energy.
100%.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm reaching here, but I can't help but to say that sometimes like personal experiences that really could break some people, and I've seen it break some people in my personal life as well, that like genuine hardships in personal life, whether it's family, whether it's just stuff that happens, that can go one or two ways. Either help you grow as a person if you use it the right way, or take you in a different path. And I can't help to see that, like, you doing so many things as a serial entrepreneur, as still someone who's healthy as well, which is crazy. Like,
Actually, by the way, it is a bit wild.
Yeah,
No,
it
because I
is.
feel like you look at a lot of sometimes founders and stuff that
Yeah.
compromise on their health
Yeah.
to get to their goal.
yeah,
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
So
like-
I'm gonna jump into there because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
both good points. So what? Okay, so we'll start with what you said, Yusuf. Like, I do think that seeking discomfort and those who have been through hardship become stronger through that resilience that they endure through that. So that's the founder's path, right? Is that anyone who has been through harder times are usually have gained a confidence in themselves because they've gone through something, they've made it through, and then that establishes trust in yourself. So the more trust you develop in yourself, usually through doing hard things, just like you said in the gym, right? You put yourself through a hard time, the next day you feel more capable, you feel more like just more in charge, right? That is something that I think more people need to really seek out, is do the hard things, right? Whether that's a workout, whether that's the thing you're avoiding, whether that's, public speaking. I did a podcast about that, like how most people freeze up, like public speaking, or even the thought of communicating to a bigger room. Like, if you can just face that, the amount of trust you'll gain in yourself, even if you fail, just from like, damn, I did that, right?
Yeah.
I really believe that fundamentally, that is one of the keys to success, is the more difficult times you go through and make it through, the more you reinforce that feedback loop of like, I can do it, I can make it through this. So the next thing, it's like, I've been through that before, I can do this again.
Yeah.
It's just developing that trust.
Do you think it fuels ambition? Like, there's a saying, like, it says, a person or a man who has no fear, has nothing left to lose, has no fear, right? Like,
yeah, well, so really interesting question, the way you said that. Do you think that fuels ambition? I think that the opposite of ambition is fear. I think, I mean, now you can be ambitious and have fear, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people who are afraid to start something, they'll never have that ambition, right? Because there's a fear of failure, so they won't even get started, right?
Yeah.
They won't pursue that discomfort, that potential rejection, that potential failure. And so they'll stay in the comfort zone. So there's no sense of, you know, that resentlessness, you know, that you have to curate if, yeah.
So just going back to the like question, do you think that like physical health can give someone that confidence? Like someone who, there's a correlation of people that go to the gym and then them being go-getters, active people,
Yes.
you know, entrepreneurs, people who are actively seeking discomfort, working out or something like that. That has a correlation to them seeking discomfort in other places in their career.
100%. And so now to your point, Lana, exactly that is. So it used to be you see someone in, you know, in a successful position, they're in a suit and they're overweight, right? I used to call it business belly when I was a personal trainer, right? Like, long story, I actually had a brand called Business Bellies. Horrible name. A supplement brand. Yeah, like targeted at reducing cortisol for your belly fat. Great idea. Terrible business name. Who wants to buy something called Business Bellies, right?
I mean, I'd buy the product. I'm not sure about the name, but I love the product idea.
Yeah, the product was great. The name was not good. Anyways, so there used to be this thought like, okay, you can be successful, but you don't have the time to be healthy, right?
To compromise on your health. That's what we were taught I think younger ages and like kind of seeing the older generation.
Yeah, 100%. That's because the other generation was also like 9 to 5, right? And everything was so structured. Now we're thinking completely different. We're realizing, society is realizing the correlation between your physical health and your physical performance and your mental performance, and how closely tied those are together. And I'll tell you from experience, like once you get into great shape, and not even once you're there, that pursuit is training for the entrepreneurial world. It is setting yourself up every day for routines, for discipline, for doing uncomfortable things, right? And that's a business, routines, doing uncomfortable things, right? Structure. It's all the same, just that energy is going into a different place. So if you have the discipline to funnel that energy into the gym, your eating habits, your sleeping habits, then the business discipline is just an extension of that. And you also, like that, what we just talked about, like that trust you gain in yourself, like that you gain confidence, right? There's just so much empowerment and self-trust that you build from that directly translates into your business performance. So I think we're seeing an awakening of like ripped entrepreneurs. There's a lot of us, you know, we're out there, you know, and it's not weird anymore. It's like, I think I might have said it on your podcast, but like if I see a jacked entrepreneur or like this, you know, like woman who's owning a business and she's just in great shape and incredibly fit, that doesn't surprise me anymore. I'm like, that makes sense. Like, you're shredded. That was hard. You own a business. That's hard, right? You're doing hard things.
Yeah.
What about timing? Because people are gonna say like they could play like I don't have time and like I don't know like what like I know but like what advice even like to just like in general like owning a business, working at a company, corporate world like. How do you actually structure your days as being an entrepreneur? I guess you don't really have a 9 to 5, right? It's kind
Definitely
of, you make
not.
your own hours. You make your own hours.
Yeah, morning to night.
So then how do you prioritize then yourself, your mental health, your physical health, whatever it is?
Great question. So, I mean, first for my workouts, it's non-negotiable in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Because if I don't get it done in the morning, I know what will happen. Email to call to meeting to, there's no way I will. It's very rare that I'll be able to make time during the day. It's get it done. It's done. I did that. Yeah. Now I can focus on business.
Also, I think it's an accomplishment thing. Like you did that thing first thing.
Check.
Check.
Yeah. Like I started the day with a hard thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a great habit to get into. Start your day with the hard thing that is also rewarding and like emotionally and spiritually and mentally like nourishing, right? So for me, it's get it done first thing. Sleep is a big non-negotiable for me. I'm a big sleeper. Now
7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, good. No, because my mental performance like just visibly goes down if I'm not sleeping. So yes, I own a business. Yes, sometimes I'm working late into the night. You know, late for me is 11:30, but I start work, you know, at 7 every morning. Get my workout done. 7, I'm at work. So
But you get your workout done before 7.
yeah.
I thought you did like a 7 a.m.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay,
No,
I'm
no,
7,
no,
same,
no,
same.
no.
No,
I have to get
Never
it
mind.
done
Fair,
early.
okay,
and
fair.
and I find after workout, like the brain's really going well.
It's
Like
true.
I'm very productive.
Yeah, that's
And so
true.
I get a really good blitz in the morning before most people are even active.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, ready. Like
Yeah,
I got my important stuff out, my
Yeah, yeah.
workout, my caught up on everything, and then it's out. So that works for me. I mean, I know some entrepreneurs that are also like runners that run like 3 hours a day. That I don't understand how they fit that in.
Yeah.
But again, if it's a priority, you'll make it work.
That's true.
So, but fitness doesn't have to be super time consuming. It doesn't have to be, you have an hour in a day. If you do an hour, you're good, right?
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
just start with that. So, yeah, and then for like the the spiritual side, the
Yeah.
emotional side, I do visualize and meditate every day. Now, my version of meditating is not, I don't, sit in silence cross-legged. I actually put on binaural beats. So I put on a
Sick.
guided hypnosis track,
Yeah.
and I just fly away, and I'm gone for 30 to 45 minutes, and that is like a midday reboot. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
not midday, sometimes it's at night. I can't squeeze it in because sometimes after that you're a little bit, you're still
Yeah.
coming out of it, and so sometimes I'll save that for evening. But that's also non-negotiable every day. Is like because you're so analytical and you're so you're in. I'm going to get a little nerdy here, but you're in beta brainwaves, which are, communication and intellectual brainwaves. But you need to also get into alpha brainwaves and theta brainwaves, which
Yeah.
are your soothing. That's where you relax. That's when your cells recover. That's when you're more present. And if you don't allow yourself the time to get in there,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like a stress case all day. And we all
There's
know
so
people.
many stimulants like throughout
Yeah,
the day
yeah,
everywhere.
there's that
Like
too.
even
Yeah.
for people even for kids, like there's so many stimulants just
Oh,
24/7.
it's-
There's no time to switch off.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah. You actually inspired me to start going to the gym, and what I realized just from like you speaking right now is that none of these things are connected together. But when I started going to the gym, and I put in my head that like this one way or another, whether it's morning or night, I'm going, right?
Damn right.
What started happening in my life is a lot of things started going like in an orderly fashion. I started reading books because I don't know why, but the trip to going to the gym, I put on an audiobook. I started using my phone less because I have less time in the day to do that.
Yeah.
I started eating better because it's just part of like I don't want to waste my effort going to the gym and not
100%.
look good, so
Yeah.
I want to eat better.
Yeah.
And when I started eating better because I eat at home, I stopped ordering food out from outside. So like I have way more money than that's
Yeah.
like thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of dirhams
Thank
that
you,
I'm not like
Jim,
spending.
right?
Yeah.
Literally,
No,
literally, though.
it's
You're right,
huge.
by the way, yeah.
That carry on, but that's huge.
But that's just like maybe like the indirect impact, but just my energy levels, like the fact, because before going to the gym, after work, there's a lot going on here, right? Like there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And so on a day-to-day basis, I would come home just destroyed.
Yeah.
But after like telling myself that I have it in me to go work out,
Yeah.
I come home with energy, right?
Yeah.
And I go
Yeah.
do like
Yeah.
paddle tennis
Yeah.
or basketball
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah.
after the gym or whatever the case. And so now I have more energy and
Yeah.
more proactiveness in
Yeah.
my work as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the sense of achievement has changed as well.
That's a big
Because
one.
like we do so many cool things here, right? Like we do so many cool things, like with you and with just in the company, this podcast. And I was at a family gathering last week, and they asked me like about my work. I was like, I don't know about work, but I lost 6 kilos this month.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. And so I think
for you.
like mental wellness, like I just had to learn through experience that it really did have an impact in my career.
Yeah,
right.
I love that.
And it's just not something that I think anyone can explain. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, people explain it, like you explain it very well. But you can only really truly, I feel like, understand it once you put yourself in that mindset.
Yeah. So if anyone is listening to this that hasn't made that step yet, that hasn't made fitness, wellness, let's call it, because fitness, it starts with fitness, but like you said, then it's the food, right?
Yeah.
And then it's the sleep habit. So fitness usually triggers a positive combined effect.
It's like a
where
holistic,
where
Yeah.
you start to optimize other areas of your
Yeah.
life because of that one thing.
Yeah.
It's a very high return investment, right? So yeah, I think if anyone's listening that hasn't made that step, like you said, even us talking about it, yeah, it sounds great, but you got to get in there and make it a habit. And once you make it a habit, like you said, you go 4 days a week, you don't deviate. Once you get in that groove, you never really go back,
You don't.
right? Because once you realize
don't,
how
yeah.
good you feel on that mode,
Yeah.
when you're off that mode, everything else comparatively feels like, oh, I just don't feel good. And my performance is down and my sleep is off and I'm eating bad. So that is like the glue that holds everything together. It really is. And it sounds easy to say that because, I mean, I'm 42. I've been training since I was 19 years old, right? Like it's been a lifestyle for, over 20 years. But I've worked with clients who only started in their 40s and you pick it up,
You do
right?
pick it
But
up.
you got to just stick with it. Just do it, trust us, and watch what happens because you're great proof of that. Like
Yeah.
you just watch every element of your life improve from changing that one thing.
Yeah. Less brain fog.
Oh,
Less
huge!
brain
Yeah,
fog.
huge. You become an adaptation machine. Like when you train, there's a little physiology. We'll make this quick. When you train, you're breaking down muscles, right? Your cells are accelerating the regeneration, right? There's damage, but it's damage done in a positive way. And you're training your body to replenish itself at an accelerated rate. The same thing goes for your mind as well. Because your brain is also, an organ, and then there's muscles, there's blood flow. So whatever you're doing in the gym is actually turning you into a higher performer if you already have, that drive outside of the gym. It's just going to be accelerated. So everything you do gets better.
Yeah.
I have one more.
Sounds like we're
point
selling
on
gym
this-
memberships.
On this,
Yeah.
I have one more point on this. On the physical well-being, is that like the biggest difference I saw is that I have a personal trainer now, and going into the gym, you have to go in the mindset that you have to do it till failure. Like literally, like you have to do it till it feels like it's about to kill you.
Yeah.
And and that's when it counts the most.
Yeah.
I started implementing this mindset at work. It's okay, not till failure,
Yeah.
but like till like before someone might have the mindset of like, I'm just here, I'm gonna clock out at 4:59.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once you start having a results-driven mindset at everything you do in life,
Yeah.
things just fall into place.
Yeah, totally
And
agree.
one more thing, I really like the fact that you said prioritize sleep because there's this like a hustle culture now of like sleep is for the weak.
Yeah.
And
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm
so
against
but
that
it's
move.
so
No, by the way,
important, right?
sleep for me, like if I do not get my 7 to 8 hours,
Yeah.
I am not myself the next
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And I can see it on a night out.
Yeah.
Because like a night out, okay, whatever. You might get less sleep. Oh, do I feel it the next
Yeah,
day
no,
now?
no,
Once
no,
you
no,
get
no.
that routine of sleep, it's
Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like everyone starts becoming a health expert once you start saying you go to the gym. It's like, oh, what do you do? What do you
Yeah,
eat?
yeah,
What
how do you
macros? It's
train?
like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah. I want to ask because there's a huge matter of circumstance that we're here today. By the way, I know this is like a huge left field question, but I should work on my segues. By the way,
Hit me with it.
yeah. But you said that you met your co-founder who at the time was working in Saudi, in Thailand. You're from Montreal. I know that you've lived all around the world. But we are here in Dubai.
Yeah.
Weird.
Um,
It's still weird to me. Like, how did I get
yeah.
here?
Building a tech company.
Weird.
So so before we get to connecting those dots,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say on the circumstance of being in Dubai? Do you think this is like the right city, right environment to be in?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I never expected to be in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was living like literally barefoot in Thailand, and before
Right.
that barefoot in Brazil, and before that barefoot in Bali.
Yeah.
Like literally, this couldn't be more different from the atmosphere I would usually put myself in by choice. But I never expected to like Dubai, but I love Dubai, and I love the UAE. Now, why do I love it? And we're in the middle of summer, right? So
Yeah.
that might be hard to say, but I still love it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came here with a mission, and I think that a lot of people who come here come with a mission as well, right? A ambition, a drive, a vision to accomplish something. Yeah, I don't think anyone just moves to Dubai like, I'll just try it out. I don't think
No,
that.
everyone has a goal.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
come here like, I want to fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
It's usually, and that's why it attracts the ambitious people. That energy is collective. You feel it. You feel it here, right? So when I first came to Dubai, and I knew no one except for my co-founder, the first thing I did was I went to Meetup and I hosted a free biohacking course in a gym, which we now go to.
Oh, okay.
7 before. During their pre-opening phase, they had no members. Yeah, they were just
OG.
opening up. They had no identity. They were renting it out the cafe upstairs.
Wow.
And I'm like, I need to meet people. I need to expand my network. So this will wrap around to how amazing Dubai is. So I put an ad on Meetup. I did it on a Saturday, and like the first day, like 15 people showed up. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, 15 random people I've never met are coming to listen to me speak at a gym. Weird. And it ended up being like an amazing hour conversation, and I met a lot of people. And then the next week I hosted it, there was like 25 people. And what I got to realize from that is and this is very unique to Dubai, people they're ambitious, but they're not competitive. I found there was a massive collaboration feeling where everyone was saying, oh, you got to meet this guy. Oh, you're a trainer? Well, you got to meet this person. Oh, you're a nutritionist? You got to meet, there was connection, it was networking. And I was not used to that, right? You didn't get that in the other places I've lived. And so that right away, I just felt like this is a good vibe. There's actually, and again, you attract your type. I get that. I don't think everyone has the same Dubai experience. I don't go out past 9 p.m. in Dubai, so there's a whole other part of the city that I don't even experience, right?
Yeah.
But again, I came here with a mission.
Yeah.
I wanted to grow a business. I wanted to grow a community, and that just came so easily here. And I see that now, building another business, I see that community building in Dubai, in UAE, is just part of the culture.
It is.
People love to get together. People love to refer you to someone that they appreciate.
Yeah.
This is a very collaborative town, believe it or not. And you'd have to be here to realize that. I think a lot of people on the outside looking in at the UAE, they think, oh, come on, it's just all this. It's all it's all Rolls Royce, it's all Bentleys, it's all, everyone for themselves. I'm like, no, it's not.
At all.
It's not at all. Come here and you'll see that this place is very open, very sharing. And it's an amazing place to network and meet people. Yeah.
How do you kind of see, because the UAE in general has done a lot of initiatives in the Web3 ecosystem, in the Web3 space. So how do you kind of see, I think you're in the right place for Lyvely for sure.
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah.
But how do you kind of see the UAE advancing as Web3 advances?
So another thing that I love about this region is the open-mindedness at the top level, right? So at the government level, the decision makers,
the leaders.
Yeah, it's top down here, right? So we, the residents, the community, we feel that we're in an ecosystem that is incubating our drive and our mission to build something. Well, the people who are building, the visionaries behind UAE, they're facilitating that. They're not saying, oh, we're going to slap all these taxes and all these restrictions. We're going to make it harder for you to do this and harder. Yeah. They're like, oh, creators are booming. Let's start a creator fund.
Yeah.
Who does that, right?
Yeah.
UAE does that, right? Blockchain's being shut down all over US. Come to Dubai, come to UAE. Open your digital assets in we open with Rakdao, right?
Just across the
Ras Al Khaimah Digital Assets Oasis. Incredible, right? Yeah. So businesses have such opportunity for growth here that you just don't have anywhere else. So in the Web3 space, while the rest of the world is trying to figure out how to regulate and how to crack down and make
tax.
And how to make it difficult, the UAE is like, okay, we got to regulate.
Yeah.
We want to keep this all clean, right? We want to do this professionally, and they are more so than anywhere else in the world. But we don't want to make it impossible for users to access. We want to increase adoption, right? We want this to grow, and we need our residents to do that. So they're encouraging the entrepreneurial mindset, and they're making it easy for the residents to participate in this Web3 blockchain ecosystem. And again, that's unheard of everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have people like friends from France, friends from Canada, friends from Australia, friends from UK, and they're all like, "Hey, so how's Dubai?" Like they're
Yeah.
literally I've
Yeah.
seen it every year. A couple are like sussing it
Yeah.
out, and then you
Yeah.
see them. Now he's here. Now he's moving here. She's moving here.
Yeah.
It's like because you're seeing all the restrictions where in the other parts of the world, and you're seeing the opportunity here.
Yeah.
It's just there's no other place like it.
I agree.
I definitely agree because every time I travel, I love traveling, and I'm thankful that I get to travel, and I love visiting different places. But no matter where I go and who I go with, I'm always glad to be back here. Like always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
special place.
It is
Yeah.
special.
And another thing is you said encourage entrepreneurs, but also congratulate. That's something that like I took for granted because the leaders here and the government entities here, when they see like M2 or a huge announcement from a huge company doing like world-changing stuff, they post about
That's
it.
a good point.
Yeah,
That's a really good point. Yeah.
and I just don't see that like that much in other places really, and that's something that I've learned to start appreciating as well.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to take for granted, but
Even
Yeah.
on the content creators point, like they had UAE had put on the 1 billion summit back in March or April, it was maybe even earlier, February, January, and it was bringing together all content creators from around the world to this summit where and people
I remember that.
and people were discussing what type of authentic content that they're posting, and I mean, where in the world do you have like a massive summit like this
Right.
where people are like exchanging ideas, showing how they beat the algorithm, showing what they're posting for this, and I think like on the content creators of what Lyvely is trying to do, I think this is the place
100%.
where you're gonna achieve that.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely.
well, I also wanted to go back to Lively and ask, because you seem to have more than 24 hours a day, and it's really a privilege of mine that I get to see that firsthand. You building something so big. It is so big.
It's big.
But the way that you build it is you. I don't know how else to say it, but you get your hands dirty, right? Like you.
These are some dirty hands.
Yeah. Like you organize meetups with
Yeah.
users and creators on Lively.
Yeah.
You reach out and get on call with people who want to create an account, but at the same time, you're working with government entities on new types of agreements and licenses at the same, and like there's a huge spectrum of scale that you deal with, right? As well as going to the gym.
Yes.
How do you balance that? Like really like long term. Like how do you balance that, and how do you give yourself direction? Like this is going somewhere.
Yeah. Interesting question, and I don't know if balance fits into this. I was going to say I mean it's an obsession.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way to say it, right? Like you said, like just this morning I was commenting on a new user's post in Spanish because they had written in Spanish, like what do we do here? And I wrote back in Spanish, Google Translate. And that was a moment where, and that's not my first time doing that. And then, like you said, then I'm on a call, with some huge players almost at government level, like discussing very strategic, large scale things. So the pendulum is swinging, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's a founder's superpower. I think that if you're not, again, personal, right? Every founder has a different strength and a different tactic. Mine is be involved in everything. I'm like a casino pit boss is like, there's nothing that goes on in Lively that I don't know about, right? And that's again, that's obsession. It's when you've brought an idea to life that you have such a clear vision for, that you have a co-founder who is building on a corporate level something you could never dream of. You realize what you're like, this is huge, right? And so this is where I want to put all my energy. I do have I have ADHD, right? I have had for a long time. Yeah.
Same.
It's a superpower, right?
It's a superpower, by the way.
So
it is
yeah,
a superpower,
it is.
and it takes time to get to learn how to deal with it.
Oh my God, yeah, a long time.
Yeah,
But
You're like, "A long
There was
time."
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. I'm there. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. But when channeled properly, that is also a superpower, right?
I agree with you.
But I'm a high energy person, anyways, right? So I like people have said like my superpower, like is speed. I do things really fast, right?
Yeah.
But that's because I'm all in it, right? I'm present. I'm there, and I just dive in. So balance, I wouldn't say like how do you balance that out? I would say that this is a period in my life where the best definition of balance is I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best to create a lifestyle around that that is supportive of that.
Yeah.
But this isn't sustainable over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
We're in a phase of business also. When you're in pre-launch phase, it's different, right? It's like your customer service, right? You're a translator, right? Today, you wear so many different hats because you're not hiring for all those yet. So as you grow your business, you start to realize, okay, I have to hire for that. I have to hire for that. I have to hire for that. And then you can rise up to more strategic, higher level things, but you have gone through that journey where you understand now everyone's role and how vital it is, and you can be more sympathetic to the challenges they have, and you can just be a better leader because I've been there, right? I've been that guy. I've been getting the trash feedback. I've been, and all of that spectrum. If you have experience in all that, it's so much easier to hire in that too.
Yeah.
It's so hard to hire for things you don't know about in your business. Like, do we need this person? I don't know. Well, when you've been that person, you're like, yeah, we need one of those.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it's really important.
You mentioned a couple of things, or you mentioned speed, which I can confirm. There's a lot that has happened since I've known you. And then you also mentioned like wearing those different hats, but I've also seen you while you're wearing those different hats, you're learning that as well. Like you and when I say learning, you also learn with speed. Like it's insane. Like you
Don't know where
become
So it's funny because as you're saying that, I'm like, oh, my mom was watching this. She'd be like, he is not a good learner. So in school, I was a very bad learner. Like for me, a C was great. Like it's not an F, we're good. Like that's how much of a high achiever I was in school, right? Like just a C was like celebrate. You didn't fail. That's great. You're moving on. So the learning thing only came from really finding what I love to do. So to that point, if I love something, I'm going to learn it really fast,
If
right?
you're passionate about it.
Yeah. And if I like something, I'll use the word obsessed, might make me sound a little crazy, but like if I want to learn about a camera, I'm not just going to go shopping for a camera. I'm going to do a week of research. I'm going to watch every YouTube video about the analysis between that camera and this camera and this and this. And by the end, I'll know everything about that camera. I can have a conversation with a photographer, right? Like, oh, you have the, Sony A7. Okay. Is that the 3550 or is that the, and it's that level of applying yourself to something that makes you great at something. But again, that's selective as well, right? There's other things that I don't do well at all. So in business, I think I've just trained myself to adapt and learn fast because I realize how valuable that is to the business you're building.
I think that's key. And I think it's different than school because school, especially when you're that young, it's hard to put a sense of direction as to why you're studying geography.
Oh my gosh.
Or why you're studying French.
Calculus.
In Canada, you study geography in French.
Oh yeah, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Right.
It's just like I needed that other layer.
Yeah, I'm like come on, guys. Jeez.
Yeah. But I think it's fascinating that you say that, and also I love that you said Casino Pit Boss because I watched that movie recently, Casino, with Robert
classic.
De Niro.
Yeah, classic.
And apparently that was true, by the way, where he counted the blueberries in a muffin. Like there was a scene where he flipped the kitchen upside down because there were more blueberries in one muffin than the other. He's like, you can't do that. You have to treat everyone
I'm not
equally.
that obsessed. All right, like that's a different level. That's a different level. Casino is a classic.
Yeah,
classic. There's one scene that's a little bit hard to watch, but
okay. Yeah. Okay, I want to watch it this weekend.
Bringing it back to Lyvely, and we were talking around this. And I don't know when this is going to go out, but there are a few key, really big announcements. I don't know if you want to go over, but I want to ask the question, which I asked for the first time in February. Why Web3? Why not just build a Web 2 solution?
Great question. So, wrapping back to my co-founder, when she knew that like the future was tech, we also knew that Web3 not only was the future, but it wasn't being personal opinion, used properly,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I
yeah.
agree, by the way.
So I've observed the space. Right? I've observed.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've observed. I
you
want
gave yourself a pause.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, think,
Yeah.
Dave, first before you
Yeah.
speak. I've observed the space for many years,
Yeah.
and there's a lot about the space that is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot about the space that's really frustrating, and the way the get rich quick mindset, the gambling mindset, right? Is let's throw a couple $1,000s into this meme coin because it might 1000x. Like, okay, maybe it will, but it probably won't, right? And that
Yeah.
mindset has just jumped into this business and has caused people to try to get rich quick at any cost, including business owners. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
So Lyvely is not that?
So, no, we thought about it,
Yeah.
but no, because like money's fun.
Yeah.
But no, it's so why Web3 is we saw an opportunity to say, okay, what is great about Web3? Okay, the tech, right?
Yeah.
Tokenization,
Yeah.
love that, right? Huge opportunity, huge amount of application, but the current user experience, and I'm again speaking from my experience, like I don't want to use a decentralized social media app. That doesn't interest me. I don't want to own, as a creator also, I don't want to own my content. That doesn't interest me. What am I going to do with this owned content? Yeah, I own it on the blockchain. Who wants to buy it? No one, right? So like it's there was just this disconnect with all of this great technology, but all of these sales pitches, like, or the use cases. And I'm like, I'm not seeing how all this great technology is going to be adopted if it's stuck in all of this user experience. So with Lyvely and my co-founder,
Yeah.
Farah, she's involved in one of the biggest Bitcoin mining businesses in the world that she recently helped public list on the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange.
Amazing, by the
Yeah,
way.
huge. Like,
It's
I mean,
incredible.
You
she's
say that
playing.
as a passing comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
It's like huge.
no big deal.
Yeah.
But no, I mean everything she does is a big
Yeah.
deal. I'm the biggest fan of my co-founder, which
Yeah.
is amazing. But it's like I watch what she does and what she builds, and I think this is just so next level. For us to collaborate and to build this together is such a gift. So what her experience is in Web3 and the corporate world, and what my experience is in the more social and creator world and digital nomad world, well, when you fuse those together, we have all of the access to these incredible, blockchain layer ones and all these different partners. Now, by implementing a tokenized platform with a Web2 familiar user experience, we are not selling our product to all the crypto natives, but
Yes.
they will realize that,
Yeah.
wow, this is a great product.
Yeah.
And there's something for me in there because there's tokenization. I can pay with crypto. I can, earn tokens. I can accept tokens. I can pay with tokens. I can convert that to fiat, like right in the platform. So we have something now appealing for both sides where I feel, again, to your question, why Web3? Well, there was nothing speaking to the masses in Web3 previous. There was all like decentralized apps, and it was all, connect your wallet first, all of these
True,
barriers
yeah.
to entry. And when I was talking to friends and creators who are influencers or digital nomads or someone building a brand online, I said, hey, are you interested in like crypto? Does that interest you? Like, yeah, I had something, but like I forgot my wallet seed phrase, or like this or that, or I lost money in this. And they always equate crypto to investing or gaining or losing money.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, there's a totally different way to think about this. What about the utility? What about the application? What about using this as a tool to reward your fans and followers? What about accepting this as a payment instead of using credit card and having 3 to 5% transaction fee? All of these benefits, we realize that we can put this into a Web2 experience and then attract the masses and have them experience crypto in a completely different way.
And you're kind of making the bridge, right? Bridging that gap
That's
between
the
Web3
vision.
and Web2.
That's
Web2,
the- yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
You're
that's-
bridging that gap.
Yeah, that's the vision. And you hear that word,
Yeah.
bridging the gap,
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like, yeah, but are you?
Yeah.
Like I see what you're doing and you're not bridging anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're building in the same Web3 ecosystem, and you're never going to appeal to the Web2 crowd. So we've really taken a different approach, and we're really excited for our launch of our token in Q4 this year.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. That's amazing. Well,
Yeah. By the way, everything you mentioned, word for word, exactly what I said on our first podcast. Is
Yeah.
that all the things that you didn't like about the space?
Yeah.
Same thing. I know this is a Web3
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
and I love Web3. But the gambler mentality is
Yeah.
just something that I think takes away a lot of the value that Web3 actually has.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. One last question.
Do you have a last question?
Yes.
Go for it, man.
What you've done a lot in your entrepreneurial life. You've started a lot of companies from scratch. Small scale and big scale. Dave's Lean Machine, was that it?
Oh,
Yeah, the
guys
one in
started?
LA. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing
man.
story. It was an amazing story.
But this seems to be like the biggest thing that you are involved in. What do you have in what do you have in your personal future outlook for yourself and where Lyvely is going?
Great question. Well, we are building Lyvely for the long haul, right? So this is, we have a 5, 7, 10-year vision. This is not something that we're, trying out for this bull run and then see ya. I mean, we have, equity-backed investors and we're here for the long haul, right? So Far and I had a big moment where we were like, this is it, huh? Like this is like, we're doing this. Like, this is your legacy. This is what we're doing. So where Lyvely goes, I mean, of course, we want to be a household name, right? We want people to think, oh yeah, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Lyvely, right? That's where you go to make money online, right? TikTok, let's go where short form, Instagram, photos and stuff. Lyvely, make money. That's the plan. Where that journey will lead to in other ways, it's hard to say. We're open-minded, but we have a very clear vision for being the #1 social monetization platform. And we do see it taking a social e-commerce direction where not only being like a social platform to post content, but actually a marketplace where now brands can come build their profiles, which you can now, but more integrations, more of, almost like a super app, right? Where more fintech features rolled on, where almost like the Amazon of digital content. That's kind of where we're going. Yeah.
I like that, Amazon of digital content.
I think you're perfectly positioned for a company that's big enough to do something big, but small enough to move nimbly.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's key. Just want to touch on that for a second, because that's really important.
Yeah.
Being a small guy actually has a huge benefit in the business world. Being a smaller business gives you that agility, right? We can take feedback and we can adapt. We can take risks, right? We can do things that you would have to go through so many corporate processes as a bigger company, or that's just not your identity because you're now pigeonholed. With us, is like, we have, like, everything is open, right?
Yeah.
So we're exploring. I mean, the opportunities we're exploring now are crazy and exciting and huge, but we're just exploring them. But the bigger company, they wouldn't be able to explore these, right? So I think that's one of the most exciting parts about being in this phase, is everything is possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dave, for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
It's great to speak to you again.
Again, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, subscribe, like, follow us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.